By reading the title, you guys already know about the location that I visited today. But at the beginning of the day, I got out of the house just to enjoy the ride after a hectic week. And then here I was, almost alone on this mountain between the chirping birds. And behind me lays signs of history that is probably older than anything man made currently standing around. They said, teach a man to cook and he will feed himself forever. And then teach him to ride a motorcycle and he will ride far in search of food. Shriram Vada Pav at Shirwal on Pune Bangalore highway was the destination. Accompanying me for this ride was Tushar on his Thunderbird. Tushar and I have done numerous one-day rides and a few long ones that include Lonar Crater, Gandikota and most recently Tapoda. You will be surprised to know that the only time I see him is when we decide to ride. Other times we are just busy with our own lives. So rides are a good excuse to catch up as well. The weather was just perfect and the highway was relatively empty. It instantly put up a big wide smile on our faces and all the tiredness of the hectic week had washed away. Hitting the highway was more important because my R3 is not able to stretch its legs completely unless we hit a century of kilometers on the highway. When we arrived at the Shriram Vada Pav, the sitting area had not even opened up, but the kitchen was all ready and buzzing. I got myself misal and Tushar treated himself with a hot vada pav. On our breakfast, we caught up on our lives, and then since we still had some more time on our hands, Tushar suggested that we check out the Shirwal Caves, which he had heard about but never really got a chance to check. So today it was a golden opportunity. Locking the coordinates on Google Maps, off we went. However, we quickly found ourselves at a dead end. This was expected with Google Maps, to be honest. Soon we realized we had to do this the old school way, asking the bypassers around. We tried to stop and ask a few people, but we were more of a nuisance to them in their commute to office. Surprisingly, the majority of them had only heard about the place but were not completely aware of its exact location. Luckily, we spotted something unusual on the nearby mountains, and both of us were confident that it resembled caves. There was no road as such, but only muddy trails. After one or two wrong turns, we finally saw the caves arriving steadily. At this location, we had to leave our beloved bikes behind and then complete the rest of the journey using muscle power. With all the riding gear, I was all set to ride to Ladakh, but certainly not in position to climb up this mountain. After a short break that included me being in awe of the view that was present in front of me, and then pretending that I knew each and every water body and mountain that I could see, we resumed our hike on this mountain. The hike is a cakewalk for seasoned trekkers. Soon we reach the site of caves. At first glance, it appeared to be some sort of compartments. One had a shivling, one seemed like a prayer hall, and the rest of them seemed to be a place to rest, similar to quarters in today's world. The prayer place is called Chaityagriha, and the quarters are called Vihara, as I learned from Google Baba later. There was also a small pond, but it was filled with plastic wrappers and other nonsense stuff. This really raises a question: do we, as modern human beings, have evolved forwards or backwards with respect to our ancestors who have built such great structures? Still in awe of this place, it was time for us to climb down towards our bikes, in the hope that they were still there. By the time we started our return journey, it was 10 am. Riding back home felt like an accomplishment today. Today's ride was more than just burning fossil fuel and filling our tummies. A short visit to this ancient place, along with my dear friend, does make you think about your life in a different way. Having done something hatke than usual weekday life gives you that positive energy to conquer the upcoming week.
चला भारी झाली राईड. थांब एक मिनिट. राईड म्हटलं भारी झाली. चल भेटू मग आपण. कॅरी ऑन. चल.